Welcome back, guys, to my channel and to another video. Today we are talking about the zone of interest. The Zone of Interest is directed by Jonathan Glazer, and it stars Sandra Hüller, who also had another great film this year in Anatomy of a Fall, as well as Christian Friedel. This is a film that I would say that is hard to spoil, not just because of the historical fact behind it, but also because this film is not deeply driven by plot. It focuses heavily on the experience of the audience and creating this feeling throughout the runtime as we accompany these characters. We follow Rudolf Höss, who was one of the chief commandants of the Auschwitz concentration camp, as he and his family live their lives directly adjacent to the camp. What unfolds really is us bearing witness to the day-to-day existence of this family. We observe them lead a normal life, for lack of a better word. The kids play in the pool and the garden. The wife and mother kind of tends to the house and has guests over. And the husband goes off to work to do his job. What makes this film so impressive is the way it is constructed and delivered to the audience. It is an immersive experience that impresses upon you to actively use your imagination and engage with what you're watching. The cinematography is very well composed and shot, but simple and naturalistic, and shows us precisely what it wants us to see and no more. Meanwhile, in the acting category, all the performances are fantastic, especially Sandra Hüller as the wife of Rudolf Höss. Her character is a detestable human in this and is a truly mean and hateful person who at the same time wants the best for her and her kids. However, the thing that brings this whole experience together as a film is definitively the disturbing sound design and also the music. The sound design is expertly done and it is like a horror film. Every little detail that is heard is so specific and gut-wrenching. They were rightfully recognized by being nominated for the Oscar for Best Sound. This film does have a clear moral stance, of course, and a perspective from the filmmakers, but it allows the audience to fester with this and kind of come to its own conclusion instead of spoon-feeding us. It shows that evil can be portrayed by normal people and also that it can be easily ignored by the world at large. The phrase banality of evil has been thrown around a lot, and I think it is an adequate way of describing the message or the feeling that it wants to demonstrate. Evil, or what we conceive of as evil, isn't necessarily obvious, exaggerated, or stereotypical. Sometimes it just kind of permeates into the normality of life. This film clearly has relevance today, sadly, as atrocities are still being committed. The Holocaust may have ended, but mass murder, genocide, and the indiscriminate killing of wars have not. All the while, many normal people turn a blind eye in their day-to-day lives. Judging from some online communities that I've seen, many people have said that this film is boring or that nothing happens. I find that kind of criticism empty and just does not speak to the purpose of the film. If you go to the Zone of Interest looking for a war film or a thriller or some action, this is not that film. That isn't the purpose of this experience and what this film has to say. I personally was entrapped from the beginning until the end, and I was made to feel bad. It made me feel gross and churned my stomach, and it was extremely effective. It is a deeply upsetting film that demonstrates the horrors of the Holocaust without directly showing them to you. The Zone of Interest is a haunting depiction of the banality of evil and how ignorance is not bliss, while having an impactful and relevant message. It is a visceral experience that makes a clear artistic decision to make us sit and bear witness to what was on the other side of all that suffering that was wrought during a systemic genocide. I left this film feeling bad, but also creatively inspired and excited that this film is getting so much recognition. It definitely is one of the absolute best films of 2023, and I'm sure it would have had a place on my favorites list had I seen it in 2023. I highly, highly, highly recommend The Zone of Interest. If you can see it at the cinema, the sound design is incredible. Go see it, go watch it. It is worth your time. Just understand to go in with the right mindset. Once again, guys, thank you guys so much for dropping by the channel, checking out my video. I do sincerely appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of The Zone of Interest? And always, if you do enjoy any of this content that I put up here on the channel, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share it with your people. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Excuse me.